All right, welcome to a successful accounting career webinar by Coach Samuel Ibanda. We are here basically to learn how to grow in our accounting careers and attract a good salary. So just to give you a little small background behind this webinar, you might have seen a post, or you might know me, or you might be following me on any different platforms. I'm one of Uganda's most passionate accountants, and I love this profession, and I've been able to earn a lot from this profession, not only as an employee, but also on different platforms. So I'm much humbled to host you this evening, this morning, whatever time you're watching this. I believe that you're in the right place, and I believe that you're going to be able to learn a lot from me. So throughout my career, I was able to grow from become an intern to reaching the stage of a finance lead, which is my current position right now. And a lot is again yet to happen in 2022. So given my success, my story has also been featured in different platforms like the Daily Monitor, has been featured by iSpal and different other platforms. So based on that story, I would love also to help you be able to attain some level of success. One of the things that I believe in life is that success is not by luck. Success is worked for. Success is prepared for. Success is basically built. You build yourself to your success. So that is why I want to share with you what exactly I did along my journey to get to where I am today, and what you can also be able to copy and apply to your career. So just to give you a small insight, I'm an accountant. I'm a CPA tutor. I tutor the Certified Public Accountants qualification, and I tutor with the Achievers Professional Trainers. I'm also a coach and a mentor. By being a coach and mentor, I hope other people be able to get the best result out of themselves. So I'm a coach, and my areas of interest are around career, personal finance, financial management, and life. I basically believe in sharpening iron. Iron sharpens iron. So the reason why you're here is because either I'm a mentor, I'm a coach to you. So at the end of the day, I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm very passionate about business. And the other is that I'm a speaker. I've been able to speak on different global platforms, and I've found passion in this area. And that is why I organize webinars like this to continue with my speaking passion. Just to give you an insight, since we are here basically to learn more about how to grow in our accounting careers, I would just love to give you an insight into my accounting career. So basically, Sam Ibanda is an award-winning finance and tax specialist with a strong accounting and financial background. He holds a first-class bachelor's degree in commerce from Makerere University, a CPA qualification of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, and several other trainings, including sustainable development with Drake University, USA. Because of my excellent work, I've been able to grow very fast in my career, and my current role is partnership finance lead at Save the Children International, which involves strategic leadership and overall responsibility in guiding the partnership finance roles at Save the Children Uganda office. Previously, I also worked with different other organizations like Vodafone, Alliance One, Imprint Uganda, and so on. I have great understanding of different accounting systems like QuickBooks, Tally, and so on. And then, of course, like I said, I'm also a CPA lecturer, and I also offer accounting-related trainings to both individuals and companies, as well as supporting SMEs set up robust accounting systems and so on. So that is just an insight into who I am, into my accounting career. Of course, I do many other things, But just if you asked me about my accounting career, those are some of the things that will come. So given that, away from accounting, I just want to tell you that my passion is in sharing and creating impact in people's lives. And that is why I would love to impact your career. I would love to see that you succeed. I would love to see that you excel and be able to earn your worth. So back to our today's topic, how to attain a successful accounting career. Here to grow in your accounting career and attract a good salary. So I just want to start with this slide. And yesterday I posted something on my timeline where I say that who you will become 3 to 5 years from now is highly dependent on the choices you're making today. And this is very, very true. John Jones agrees with me by saying, if you think you can become successful and you're willing to learn and work at success, one day you actually become successful. Now, this was me about 6 years back, leaving a university with an aspiration to grow fast in my career. I wanted to become a finance manager by a certain age. I wanted to become a CFO by a certain age. I wanted to work with corporate companies. I wanted to work with big fours. I wanted to work with NGOs and so on. And I want to tell you that everything that I aspired, everything that I thought about has actually come to pass. Everything has been able to find my way. And why that has happened is because I've been able to learn and work towards my success. And it's who I am today as a result of all those things. And that is the same message that I have for you today, that who you will become is highly dependent on the choices that you make. And by you being part of this webinar and being able to stick around for the next few hours just to learn is very key to getting you forward, because you're going to learn a lot that can push you forward, that can help you become who you want to become. So now, one of the first things that I want to start with is the aspect of career goals, okay? And why career goals? Because you cannot get to a destination you have no idea about. If today I want to go to Kampala, if, for example, right now I'm in Fort Portal, if I want to go to Kampala, I'll have Kampala in the mind, and it means that I'll board the right vehicle that will take me to Kampala. If I want to go to the UK, I know the right plane to take. I know the right procedures, and I know the direction I should be able to take. So I want to ask you, and I want you to think about it and be able to tell me your answer. What or who do you want to become in 10 years' time? Now, I've told you of my life, of where I wanted to be when I was leaving university. So as you're part of this webinar, I just want to ask you, I just want you to reflect. Either you write it down, you can share with me in the chat box in case you're part of this live session. Just tell me, who do you want to become in your career? I know this is an accounting webinar and most of us have aspirations of becoming finance managers. We want to become CFOs, we want to become CEOs, we want to become partners. We want to become business owners, own our businesses. We also want to become consultants. So what about you? Who do you want to become in 10 years' time? Who do you want to become? Can I get some responses in the chat box? Who do you want to become? In case you're watching a replay of this, you can be able to write that down for yourself and be able to know what exactly you should be able to be doing. So like we're saying, who you become 3 to 5 years depends on what you're basically doing today. So I can see different people saying business owner, CFO, doing my business, finance officer, CFO, and so on. So we have a lot of ambitious people. We have people that know where they want to be. Now, where you want to be matters most because you're going to make hard decisions along the way. And it's also going to foster you to be able to work towards your goal. So who do you want to become in the next 10 years? I appreciate all those that have responded. because it starts with a dream. It starts with a mindset. Whatever you tell your mind, you can actually achieve it. I don't know why that has really worked for me. That I say that I'll be a finance manager by 25, and it actually happened. So yours is also to define who you want to be at a point in time, and define it having that in mind, that you have to do what it takes to actually get there. Okay. So as you set your goals, now there are certain things that will actually have to help you attain those goals. You want to become a senior accountant, you want to become a consultant. There are certain things that you have to basically do. And I want to tell you that we enter into the professional world. The people that employ us may not even have an idea of who we want to become. And I want to tell you that unless you actually come out and take lead of your own career, in most cases, you'll be able to dance to the tunes of the people that are employing you. And that is what I want you now to forget about. You're not going to grow in your career dependent on other people. You're going to take lead in who you want to become. So I see we have finance leads, we have CFOs and so on. And I want to tell you that if I left this whole process of becoming who I wanted to be in the hands of my boss, in the hands of my HR, in the hands of my employer and so on, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because your boss is very happy to see you doing the work that you're doing. When you want to grow in your career, that is an extra cost to them sometimes, unless there's an opportunity. And in most cases, they will also trust even other external people and give them career growth than you who is actually working there. So as you make your goals, I want you to understand that this is within your responsibility. Your boss may support you along the journey, but it's overall your responsibility. So given we know where we want to go, now, when we speak of an accounting career, we have different journeys that each of us are taking right now. So I know we have some people that are in audit. We have some people that are into finance. Somebody who's using stop whatever you're doing. We have somebody who is in management accounting. We have somebody who is in cost accounting. We have somebody who is in advisory, finance, grants management, reporting, and so on. Now, why this is very important for us here is because we basically have to make sure that we understand whatever we actually going to do, okay, before we can actually get there. Now, where you are now also has an effect on who you will become, okay? For example, if you are a person who is aspiring to, let's say, become maybe a partner who run your audit firm, and today maybe you're into sales, something that is totally not related to accounting, it will take you a lot of time to actually get there. So yours is to decide and ask yourself, where do I want, which kind of line do I want to basically take? Now, this may not be so much dependent on where you are now, because I want to believe that once you set the line of career that you want to take, then it will even define the jobs that you apply for and also the organizations that you join. So this is very critical because accounting is very broad, and there are guys that are succeeding in the area of tax and they will not apply for any finance manager job. There are guys that are in audit and they are comfortable and they are striving to become partners or run their audit firms. There are people who are into management accounting, and that is their line. So you need to understand which line are you in. And if you're not yet in your line, which line would you love to take? And that will define even the kind of qualifications that you start aspiring for. If somebody wants to do, let's say, tax, then for them, they have to think of, let's say, going for the CTA or going for CPA, which will also get you to the same line, also going for, let's say, maybe a diploma in tax administration and so on. So you need to understand which one is your line, which direction do you want to basically take. It's very important because you will not get there unless you actually start. For example, myself, I'm into, most of the work I'm doing right now is into grants management because I'm in the NGO world, and most of my work is around grants management. I made the choice at one point in time to join NGOs at one point in time. And at that point in time, I was basically into reporting, but I made a decision to now move into NGO accounting, which is the grants management and so on. So that was my choice. So you also need to make your choice as well and say, is it tax for me? And then that will make you to now look out for jobs like URA as advertised, you apply, or there's an opportunity for tax assistant, you apply, because you're going to take a lot of time in one area and you have to love it. You also have to be able to commit yourself. Not only that, you have to develop your skills in that given line, okay? So it's very important that you choose your line that you want to take. Now, I want to come to this page, and somebody in one of the questions asked me about CPA or ACCA. Now, allow me start with this slide. And if you're not doing any of these two courses, maybe you're just at your degree level, I want you to have this within your career goals and career plans. At least one point in time, have a CPA or have an ACCA. These two qualifications are very important. You can have either, you can have both, but either is enough, because I have either, and either has helped me to get me forward. So why the professional course is very important is because you cannot basically get so much professional if you're not at least in one of them. It's very important. Of course, we have other different professional courses, like let's say like CIMA, which is related to people who are in the area of management accounting. We also have the CFA, which is into people that are looking towards maybe financial analysts and so on. So it's broad. I just use these two examples so you know. But that gets back like where we also have the CTA that I talked about that is now being run by ISPAL. I talked about the fact that you need to understand which is your line. Audit also has what we call the certified internal audit, okay? So you can be able to take that. We also have this certified fraud investigators and so on courses. So there are many professional developments that you can take on. So yours is to understand which one am I taking on first and which one is actually will help me attain the dream career that I want to run, okay? So it's very important that you prioritize finishing. For me, it really helped me. When I finished my CPA, I was an accountant at that point in time. And one of the things that I did was once I finished my CPA, of course, I prioritized, I did all it took me to make sure I get the qualification. When I got the qualification, I was able to present this to my employer, and my employer within a very small time gave me an opportunity to grow in my career. I was an accountant and I was able to become a finance manager in a very small time because I had the qualification. So it's also very important for you as well to think about this qualification. Choose what works for you depending on your career line. It's very important. If you're already running it, if you're already on the course right now, prioritize finishing it very fast. Because what happens is when you finish it very fast, it means that you're going to grow a little earlier compared to other people. Because now it's a requirement for most of the jobs, especially senior roles, that you should be at least at a certain level within your professional course, but also for certain other jobs that are really good, you should have completed. So this should be in line. If you're just a graduate, please start immediately. I started my professional course immediately I left university, and I want to tell you that by the time I finished, that was about 3 years into the career. And that was able to open many opportunities for me. Even before I finished, different jobs kept on opening for me. So this one is very important. Leaving this aside, I want to just also bring in this aspect of being exceptional, over deliver. Now, if you're given an opportunity, now some of you already have jobs that you already hold. Now, given any opportunity to showcase your skill, given an opportunity to work, make sure that you're exceptional. Remember, we are here to learn how we can be successful accountants. Now, successful accountants are exceptional. They are not like any other accountant. They are exceptional. By exceptionality, we mean you are performing in a smart way. You put in extra hours. Accountants work really longer hours. I just used a picture of an athlete here because we know what athletes go through to become who they are. It's not just about the medals, it's about the work behind. And I just use this quote of saying, no, there's no replacement for hard work. You have to work. You have to work. I'm not here to say that you're going to make it just by sitting and waiting to become a finance manager. You have to work, because organizations that are employing you are looking for value and they pay you for value. So if you demonstrate that you are of low value, the organizations will also want to pay you a low value. And when there's an opportunity internally, they will not think about you because they have not seen that exceptionality in you. Now, why is it very important to become exceptional? Is because it will always show up and people will start talking about you, and people will be able to trust you with even extra responsibilities. You know, there's a saying that says that whatever is on your job description is what earns you a monthly income. Whatever you do beyond your job description is what will help you to get promoted. That is the principle. Whatever you're doing right now, become exceptional. Be seen. Let people know that you're a person who is an initiator, not an executor. Be somebody who can see a wrong thing and be able to front it. If it's an internal control gap in the organization, front it to the organization because it's very important for you. If at all you're in an organization and let's say there is a project that is coming up, position yourself to take on that project, to initiate it. They are installing an accounting system. Position yourself. Exceptionality is not exceptional. You have to become exceptional and over deliver. If your boss gives you work, make sure that you deliver before the deadline. Don't wait for the deadline to reach. Deliver before the deadline, because this is what makes them to trust you. Every boss is looking for somebody. Myself, I'm currently supervising several people, but I want to tell you that the different people that I've worked with, people that are initiators are my go-to team. And I'll be able to stand and say this person should get a promotion because I believe that these are the people that the organization wants. So it's very good that you become exceptional at your work. Not only that, I also want to emphasize something very, very, very much here. There's an aspect of boosting your soft skills. Now, accountants, we have key soft skills that we need in our day-to-day working. And these soft skills, as we can call them soft skills, they are basically important skills. They are not exceptional. Why have I started with soft skills? Yes, you can be exceptional at your work. You can have the CPA qualification. But if you lack some of these key skills, I want to tell you that it will actually affect you along the way. You'll be able to struggle through. You'll struggle through, and I want to tell you that you'll miss opportunities. So when I speak of soft skills, I'm speaking about things like business knowledge and acumen. By business knowledge and acumen, I'm trying to inform you here that make sure you understand the industry in which you operate. I'm an accountant in the NGO world. I should know how NGOs operate. Leadership capabilities. By leadership, we are trying to mean you have to make sure that you are always taking lead in your day-to-day work. Now, by taking leadership means, you want to grow, you want to become a manager. And management requires you to have good leadership skills. By leadership skills, we are meaning you take initiatives, you are seen to lead different projects, you are seen not to wait for somebody to tell you to do something, but you do it even before they tell you, the leadership. And also being able to work with teams and be able to lead them where need is. You don't have to wait for your boss to come and correct something that has gone wrong. You take the leadership. So you need that soft skill. Now, the other is persuasion. Now, every time we work with different people, we work with supply chain, we work with marketing, we work with sales, we work with different departments in the organization. We should be able to persuade them. If we're told the organization is towards a cost-cutting methodology, we should be able to position ourselves in that line as people that can sell whatever idea we have in the organization to the other people. The persuasion also helps even when it comes to interviews, because when you before interviews, it's basically a persuasion game. You want to make sure that you're persuading the people that are listening to you. So it's very important. And then, of course, the communication, very similar to persuasion. Now, communication here, we're talking about both oral and written communication. You need to boost your key skills. Now, most of these skills, you might have them and you may not, you may only need to better them. You may not have these skills. And what this means is you have to look for ways of how to learn them. And there are different avenues of how to learn them. These days we have online space where you can just go to YouTube and put in and be able to learn about leadership, about communication. It's very key for you to understand. Not only that, analytical skills. Have you ever seen a job advert? I think you've seen. Now, job adverts usually have key skills at the bottom of an advert. In addition to this, the technical skills of having a bachelor's degree in BCom or BPA or science in accounting, they usually have a part for skills. And you see things like analytical skills. Somebody should have good communication skills. Somebody should have good organization skills, should have good time management skills. Now, the recruiter does not include those key skills just for nothing. They include those skills for a reason. And the reason why they include them is because they want to help you know what exactly it takes to get that job. So for me, what I basically do, every time I see job adverts, I usually look out for that key area to see what are some of the skills that employers are looking out for. Even when you're applying for the job, you know that these are skills I have or these are skills I don't have. So it can give you that room to even improve and become a much better person. So it's very key. These are skills that you can learn. These are skills you can even have, let's say, share with your friend or your workmate, and they help you learn through these skills. If you're not good at time management, you can ask somebody to be accountable to you, okay? So that you can be able to learn. When we speak of analytical skills, accountants, our work is around attention to detail. If you, let's say you are getting an invoice that you're going to pay, what are some of the things you need to look out from that invoice before you actually make a payment to it? Because every day, this is part of your work, and it requires you to be able to analyze these things with that keen eye. So if you don't have that keen eye, you have to develop it. You have to learn how to have attention to detail as much as it is required, okay? So it's very important. So there are many other soft skills that you can think about, but these are very key. And that's why you see every job will have at least a soft skill. Every job will at least have a soft skill somewhere, because it's very important. It is very, very important. So keep boosting your soft skills every day. Now, not only about the soft skills, we also have what we call the technical skills. We have what we call the technical skills. And these are also very, very key. Now, I started with advanced Microsoft Excel. Now, I know most of us, we already have some of these skills, but they may not be to that extent because there's a lot, you know, Excel and accounting software keep changing every day. So you need to keep boosting your skills every day. And I said, learning these days is very easy. Of course, there are organizations that do teach in these skills. For example, us at Achievers, we do train in these key skills. But also as an individual, there's a lot of resources that you can use. You can do self-study, okay? That can help you to be able to learn some of these things. The reason why I'm bringing these key skills, these technical skills, is because they're also very important. I think you've seen different jobs that are asking about, you should have key, maybe advanced Excel skills. You should know at least one accounting software. Softwares that are very common, QuickBooks, tally, and so on. You should be able to have at least an understanding of them. Some of you may not be employed, so you may not have a ground to practice some of these skills, but at least make sure you get the skill. Go for a training, go to YouTube and do a self-study of this. It's very important. It's not optional, because even when we are trying to weigh whether we should employ you or not, we are going to look at your key technical skills. And this will either be demonstrated through your certificates that you have, or this will be demonstrated through the interviews that we shall give you. When most written interviews these days will have the aspect of advanced Excel. They'll give you work through Excel. It could be a payroll that you need to prepare. It could be maybe a budget that you need to prepare, whatever it is, okay? So make sure that you are developing your technical skills every day. So depending on your line of, let's say, depending on your line of career, like I said, sometimes you may, yours could be, let's say, the area of audit. So you know the technical skills that you need in that area. If you're somebody who is in tax, you know the technical skills you need in that area. But in general, those are some of the technical skills that you should be able to aspire for, okay? Now, I just wanted to show you something small here. That's why I've done my slide. So I just want to show you why the technical skills are very key and why they will always come through. So this is a job advert, and I think this job advert is for accountant, Makerere University water read project. So this job advert has the academic and professional requirement, and they're asking you things like Microsoft Dynamics. Now, this is what they have asked. I already talked of CPA. I think we can see how the CPA comes in. We can also see how the degree in accounting, of course, comes in, just in case you don't have that. Is very key. This is what comes in here for such a role. So every role will have a technical skill. Yours is to make sure that you understand which key skills you need to keep developing. And for me, this is how I learn about, let's say, the different. For example, we have this job. This job is at Save the Children, and they are looking for a field finance manager. So let's just look at the skills and experience. So they come here, they ask you something to do with, you should be able to know about NGOs, humanitarian setting, development setting. You'd have strong background in external donor reporting. I think you've seen part of the list that we have on our what? On our key skills is the aspect of grants management skills. If yours is an aspiration to join NGOs, you have to make sure that you understand how grants management works. It's very important. I joined the NGO world when I was coming from the private sector. I didn't have some of these skills, but I went and looked for the skills. And that helped me enter into the organization. I held this role at one point in time within the same organization. But what helped me was the fact that I developed my skills. So you too can actually develop your skills, okay? You don't need to start. Everyone has a starting point. Like, you don't get this experience from birth. Everyone has that starting point of where we join an organization and learn, or we take an initiative to learn by our own, okay? Very important. So I just want to also, of course, these are also technical skills that are required here. They even come here and tell you you should have a good key understanding of accounting packages and understanding of taxes. Now, filing returns is another skill, technical skill that you need as an accountant, okay? Because at the end of the day, that is what is going to help you to be able to manage things to do around taxes and so on. Things like proven ability to work with a team, teamwork, which I talked about, okay? It's very key. Now, in the same way, I think you can see some of the other skills that are coming in. Things like, let's say, interpersonal communication skills, crisis management, and so on. Now, we have different skills that are being required. You can see strong analytical and strategic planning abilities. Now, some of you, when you come to these jobs, yours is to just look out for this. You just don't even take any time to really go in detail of this because you believe that this is something that comes maybe naturally. But these are very important. The reason why the employer includes these skills is because even when they are going to interview you, this is what they are going to look for. If I'm designing an interview for such a role, I have to look at it extensively. Some of the questions I ask are questions that should be able to help me understand how is this person when it comes to interpersonal skills? How is this person when it comes to time management? Okay, very key. The reason why I've tried to show you this is because sometimes we take these things to be not that relevant. Now, yes, you may fake it and be able to get a job, but I want to tell you that for me who has worked, let's say in such an organization, if there's anything that has put me ahead are some of these skills. Some of them, yes, I didn't have them, but continuously have gone ahead to develop them. And I said, you develop this by learning from others. You develop this by looking for institutions that can help you improve this. You develop this through reading. Accountants need to be good readers. Read texts, read articles that help you boost these skills. And I want to tell you that will push you forward. If you want to become, let's say, a manager, there are certain things that you need to really learn. There's a lot, I know at work we call it office politics. There are lots of dynamics that you need to be able to manage as an accountant along your journey. So it's very important. These are very, very key skills. And that's why I've labored to do here. As you perfect your technical skills, make sure that your soft skills are also very key. Even when you're drafting your CV, you're drafting your cover letter. If I'm a recruiter and I'm looking at your CV and I'm looking at your cover letter, what I'm looking out for are these keywords. I think you've applied sometimes online, and because there are many people that are applying online, you can post a job today and you have over, let's say, 500 people that have applied. Now, what the employers do, they'll just come and get the keywords that the system should be able to look for in your CV. So they just put these keywords within the system, and the system is able to run and is able to give them those CVs that have these key skills and maybe also that have these key requirements and so on. So you don't have to only get these skills, but you also have to make sure that you position yourself as somebody who has these skills by boosting your CV and boosting your cover letter as well to be able to represent you accordingly. Okay, so that's very important. I just wanted to get there so that I would give you an insight. So I believe that you understand why these are very key along your career. Learn things to do with budgeting and management accounts. Now, I think you've had a conversation where they have told us that the accounting profession is phasing out. I think you've heard about that conversation because most of our work is being replaced by machines, by artificial intelligence. Now, what artificial intelligence will not be able to really do as much, of course, it will be able to do the budgeting. But when it comes to management accounts, you're trying to now be able to understand beyond the numbers. Yes, you've produced that balance sheet, all that income statement. What does it mean for business? And that's why, like I said, you need to understand the business in its own, because you're going to be a finance manager and you're going to be the key finance person in the organization. You have to make sure that you understand how to interpret this accounting information so that you can help the different managers to help you to be able to make key decisions. Okay, so very important. So look out for the technical skills, and I've told you how to get these technical skills. Keep studying job adverts and try to understand how each of the job adverts are positioned. And if you have some of those skills and the job is within your line, apply for it. If you see that maybe you don't have the key skills, go and boost those key skills so that next time when such a job appears, you will position to apply for that. So very important when it comes to skilling. So other than that, one of the things that I also want to tell you here is build great networks. Build great networks. Now, building great networks is not an optional if you're an accountant. Now, we have different people that we meet along our journey, people that we study with, people that we work with, people that are within our industry, and so on. Now, why this is very important is because the world has changed. If somebody is recruiting an accountant, they want to make sure that they are recruiting the right people because of the dynamics that come with our role, because we handle money, we handle different things. They want to make sure there's somebody who can be able to defend and be able to speak good about you. Now, this is what great networks mean. Like I indicated here, a significant percentage of new employment opportunities arise from what you may call hidden jobs. And these are not posted online and are filled through referrals. I think some of you might have been able to get some of these jobs through referrals. Myself, since I'm into the accounting lecturing and things, have also built a good brand as an accountant. I usually get people that reach out to me that ask me, Samuel, can we be able to employ you at the end of the day? So it's very important that you build your credibility, build networks. Don't just be there and you have no anyone who knows you, who can be able to recommend you. And by building great networks does not only mean looking out for somebody and saying, I know this guy is a CFO and that is all. Be valuable, that somebody can be able to think about. If today I ask that I want to get an accountant, be valuable in a way that somebody can be able to say, John is the right accountant for you. Maybe Jane can be able to serve you in case you are looking for an accountant. That is what having good networks is. And then also leverage on your network. Keep in touch with your networks so that they can know about your steps, okay? Now, one of the other things that I also shared there was to do with what? LinkedIn. Now, some of you have not yet appreciated what LinkedIn can bring to you, okay? So I just want to share a snapshot of my LinkedIn here. So this is my LinkedIn, and some of you I know follow me on my LinkedIn here. Now, for me, when you look at my LinkedIn, it will be more of a consultant LinkedIn. But my LinkedIn is my CV, okay? And what this means for me is that there are many people that have now joined LinkedIn as a way to recruit for organizations. And I've been able to find different people that have reached out to me through LinkedIn. From just my inbox here, many people are just inboxing me saying, Sam, can we work with you? Okay. I'll just try to show you something small here. So you can see this is one of the roles. So somebody says, hi, Samuel. Solar now has 2 exciting roles in finance that we think you might potentially be a good fit. And then they keep share with me the roles. This is reporting and treasury manager, controller, general ledger, and so on. And said, we look forward to reviewing your application. Now, this is what network does. Now, such jobs, yes, some of them might have been, let's say, advertised somewhere. But for you, this is another way to be recruited. And this is what LinkedIn does for you, okay? This is what LinkedIn does for you. So yours is to make sure that you create a profile that attracts people to come and check you out, okay? If you try to see here, I have over 1,313 people that are checking out my profile every day for the past 90 days. All these people have checked out. So among these, I might have, let's say, an employer who would love to employ me. I've been able to get several opportunities along this platform. And I want to tell you that right now, organizations have changed. Even when you click on jobs here, there are even options where you can apply for a job directly without having to submit your CV. Basically, it's just right here and it will actually do what? It will actually accept. I think you can see when you look at this job, this is finance director and administration icon. When I click on this, it will tell me, share your profile and say, increase your chances of being viewed. So if I say continue, they will be able to do what? They will be able to share my profile with who? With the recruiting company. And you know what that means? Is if my profile is really doing well, they will not even struggle to actually do what? They will not struggle to look for more other candidates because what they are looking for is somebody. So be able to leverage on these opportunities. LinkedIn is the way to go, okay? LinkedIn is the way to go if you want to grow your career these days. It's just basically a click away, and you can easily be able to apply for any role, okay? So it's very important. And then also when you're on LinkedIn, it does not only just end to come and look for jobs. Be somebody who is active here, because there are different people that are actually on this platform that can be able to employ you. For example, when you click on this aspect of network, you can find different people that are seniors in your field that you need to connect with. And at the end of the day, not just connecting with, being able to continuously do what? Being able to continuously connect and make sure you're active on the platform and so on, okay? So I'll run away from LinkedIn. That is another great avenue for you to build your network online. And then we have, of course, building your network also offline may require you to do some of the things like, let's say, attending webinars. For example, this is a picture taken from iSpower webinars. You may go ahead to attend some of these webinars. We also have online webinars, like, for example, today you're attending this webinar. We have over 82 people that are attending this webinar live. These are all networks, okay? Some people, when I ask a question, they'll be able to comment something. At the end of the day, they are creating networks. I know that at least Yusuf is here. I know that Charles is here. I know Dora is here. These are people that are continuously positioning themselves out there and building great networks, okay? Very important. Now, the next aspect that will help you have a successful accounting career is the aspect of dreaming beyond your job description. Now, I already made a comment and I say that what makes you earn a monthly income is the fact that you're doing your work, you performing as per your job description. What will get you forward to become, let's say, the next step within your career, to become a senior accountant, to become a finance manager, is that aspect of going beyond your job description. Now, in most cases, we always want to say, that one is not part of my work. And that is the comment that you want to tell your boss. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that you think beyond your roles. For example, right now, you're a data entrant. Maybe you're an accounts assistant. Maybe you're an accounts payable. Aspire to learn more about taxes, even when you're not doing them, if that is the line that you want to go to. Aspire, because in most times in these organizations, there are even opportunities to learn some of these things. Be somebody who says, or asks your boss and says, I would love to learn more about taxes. And once in a while, the tax person calls you in to support, to file some of the returns. So you're building your skills. It's very important. So don't be confined by what your job description says. Look beyond within the organization and see what are some of the opportunities that I can take on. What exactly can I do? What can I be able to support this organization that can help me put me forward? Okay, it's very important. If you want to become a finance manager, be seen to take lead, be seen to act like a finance manager. A finance manager does not work like an accountant. Be able to speak about certain things that the other person will understand that this is the right person we need for this job. Even when any opportunity comes up. For example, I was an accountant and the finance manager resigned and I just joined the organization. The organization was, during the time when they were recruiting, I acted in that role. I was the only now accountant in the organization without a finance manager, but I performed for the next 3 months before they would replace a finance manager. And I want to tell you that during that time, it helped me shine, because sometimes you work under, let's say, boss who made, because they're also performing their role, so they may cover you up. The big bosses may not see your value. But then when you're given an opportunity, when an opportunity comes, make sure that you shine. Make sure that if today they ask you to do that report, to prepare that financial report, you actually show to them that I'm not just an accounts payable assistant. I can actually do these taxes. I can be able to prepare financial statements. I understand this accounting software beyond what you think I can. That is what it means, dreaming beyond your job description. Basically, start dreaming to what you want to become. Start acting in the way you want to become. Start developing the skills that you think will actually get you to your next role. That is why it's very important. And that's why I talked of things like professional development. If you know that to become a finance manager in that organization, somebody should have a CPA, then go for it. Make sure you start early. As soon as you join, one of the things that I usually do, every time I join a new organization, one of the things that I'll strive to do is I'll find out what it requires me to get to the next level in terms of my profession. So I'll find out what qualifications my bosses do have, what key skills my bosses do have, and I develop those. Now, as I develop my experience within the organization, mine is to keep on refining myself, refining my skills, to make sure that by the time I finish 2 years in the organization, I have actually gotten part of the skills that are required for my next role, or as well as part of the qualifications and so on. So dream beyond your job description and learn. Don't be confined by job, learn beyond. Be able to learn more about how supply chain does, procurement, be able to understand what marketing is basically doing, be able to know all that. It's very good as an accountant. And then continuous professional development. You finish your CPA, you finish your degree, there's a lot that is changing. And you need to be able to continuously develop yourself to make sure that you actually get to this level. Continuous professional development is very good because there's a lot that is changing. If it is tax, for example, for the Ugandan market, currently we have IFRIS, you need to be able to learn more about the new tax systems. You need to be able to look out for other resources that can boost your skills as an individual. And I want to tell you that this professional development will give you lesser certificates that you can even attach onto your credentials and apply for those jobs. Even when you're given an opportunity to act in a given role, the professional development will be able to show up even in your work. Even when you're in your role, for example, some people, maybe because you don't have the opportunity to grow and let's say maybe there are few opportunities and so on, your continuous professional development can even improve your work. If today you've been submitting a wrong bank reconciliation every month and you go and boost your key skills in bank reconciliation or Excel, your boss will be able to see this. And you see, one of the things that you need to understand is what attracts a good pay to you is your value. If they think they are afraid to lose you, they will actually pay you a good salary. Even when you get another job, for them to be a wake-up call for them to give you a better salary. So develop your skills and continuously do professional development. Now, the other that I also want to comment about here, which is very key, is the understanding of the business of your employer. Now, sometimes accountants, we want to confine ourselves on debit credit. We forget about the fact that we're going to advise CEOs on how to, let's say, take different decisions. So take a keen understanding of the broader company goals. That is what finance managers do. Finance managers are not just entering data in the system. They're trying to see how can I support the strategic objective. And even when you have these conversations, when in your organization you are seen to understand the business of your employer, it even gives you a ground to grow. They'll be able to see potential in you. They can at least say this guy can actually become a finance manager because they see this potential in you. So go beyond the debit credit and go beyond to learn more about the business. For example, I'll tell you I'm in the NGO world. And right now I know so much about the NGOs and how they run. I worked in the telecom. I understood how telecoms run. I worked in the agricultural industry. I took my time to understand beyond. Get that invoice when you receive it, question things and say, what are these guys delivering? What does it exactly do? So that you understand, you become of value when you understand what your employers do. Now, this is one critical aspect that will actually get you to the top of your career. One of the things that you need to understand, and I emphasized this even as I was starting, I said, who you will become is dependent on the decision that you are making today. But also one of the other things that you also need to understand is that for you to become, let's say, successful in your career, it is your overall responsibility. Your boss will actually support you, but it's overall your responsibility. And I want to tell you, I want to give you this as something that you need to take away. That in most cases, if you're doing your job, for example, if I have you as an accounts payable or accounts receivable, and you're doing your work on a day-to-day basis, I wouldn't want to replace you because I would be afraid that the next person will not be able to understand the work just as you do it. So you need to see how to ask for promotion when it is actually time to. I want to tell you myself that along my journey, I actually asked for some of these elevations. I asked for pay raises. If at all you deserve it, then it's not bad for you to ask for it. If you've spent in an organization for over 2-3 years and you've not grown in salary, you've not grown in any promotion at all, why should you be afraid to ask for it? Confront your boss. If you demonstrate. Now, one of the things that you need to understand is you have to be exceptional to be able to start this conversation, because you don't want to go into a conversation and they'll tell you that you're not performing, so you don't deserve an extra pay. It's very important. Most bosses, because you're earning that salary, they think you're young, they think you don't have responsibilities, so they will not give you the opportunity to grow. Even when there's an opportunity, they will recruit another external person because they think you're just comfortable. Every time I join a new organization, all I'm looking out for is growth. If I joined, for example, I worked as an accounts assistant. For me, mine was to make sure that I demonstrate that I want to grow. Now, some of these things may not be, for example, in terms of conversations of I want to grow. But the conversation could be twisted a little by saying to your employer that I feel I have done this work for 2 years now and it has become monotonous. I would love to be given an opportunity to learn more about taxes, maybe to learn more about management accounts, maybe to learn more about reporting, and so on. Now, that when you approach it from that perspective, your employer knows that you're a person who just doesn't want to earn a salary or an increment, but a person who wants to add value, who wants to grow. So you say, I want to learn more about budget and so on. Now, that could be a conversation. Now, when you know that you have all the skills, you've developed your skills, now you can actually position. If there's an opportunity in the organization, for example, somebody has resigned, yours is actually to front your boss and say, I recently got this qualification. Maybe I'm on level 3 now for my CPA, or I'm on level 2, and I have developed these key skills. I think I can do this role. I want to give you an example. When I finished my CPA, I actually went and met my boss and told them I'd just finished my CPA. So for me, that was to inform them. And I told them that in case there are any opportunities in the organization for me to grow, I would really be willing to take them up. And that was a conversation. From that, my boss knew that I was actually a candidate for growth. Now, one day an opportunity came up in the organization. This was a finance manager role, just like the one we just saw previously. So they asked me, I applied and they interviewed me. So they asked me, can you be able to execute this role? I confidently told them and gave them the reasons why I actually had all it takes to execute the role. Now, for you to become a finance manager in our organization, you needed to have become a senior accountant, because I was an accountant at that time. But because I was able to demonstrate that I was ready for growth, for promotion, and I was able to defend myself even in the interview when I was given the opportunity, that opened my way to the top. I was actually given the role. I became the first person in the organization to become a finance manager from just being an accountant. And you know what? I had been in the organization for 1 year and about 6 months. I had not been there for long. But I want to tell you that if I hadn't taken that step, I would not have gotten that, because there were other people that were wanted to grow, just like I was. But I was ready. I had my skills. I'd finished my professional course, and I had all it takes. And I want to tell you that my salary was able to more than double. That is what happens when you step out of your comfort zone and go and ask for what you deserve. Very important. Okay. So the other aspect that I also want to speak about here is aspect of strong values. Okay. Now, one of the key strong values that I want to include here is integrity. And integrity is very important for us as accountants. I know we are people that are always having, let's say, access to money within the organization and so on. But I want to tell you that Money is good, but it will ruin your career if you handle it wrongly. If you're a person who is being employed right now, make sure that the money of the organization is for the organization. I know some accountants may not want me to talk about this, but it's very important. For me, I've been able to work for my own money within the organization. Integrity is very key. I have a good friend of mine. He started his career within NGOs. We actually finished CP at around a similar time. So he gets this job as an accountant in one organization. This gentleman kept on taking petty cash for his personal use. And I want to tell you that along the way, the gentleman was actually gotten, and he was asked to pay back all the money that he had taken, because they found all the signatures he had faulted, as well as this gentleman has failed to actually get back into the employment world, because every time they do a reference check on him, he actually loses out. He doesn't get the job. So integrity is very key as an accountant. Make sure you maintain your integrity, because that will help you to grow internally within the organization, but also finding jobs outside. I want to tell you that every day employers are asking people that are either worked with you or direct, maybe HRs and CEOs that you've worked with, to know if you're the right person they should be able to, let's say, employ. One time I applied to an organization and I put my referees very, very okay, thinking that they'll contact my referees. You know what these guys did? They contacted the HR of my previous organization and the CEO. That is what some organizations have done, because they know that on your CVs, you'll include those guys that are very good, that are going to speak good things about you. Now, for them, what they will do, they'll look for their referees, people that can be able to tell them if you're a good person or not. And I want to tell you, if you steal money in an organization, nearly everyone will know in the organization. And they'll be able to tell different other people. Even when they ask about you, they'll still say that guy is a thief. And you'll not be able to grow. So make sure that you leverage on opportunities to grow in your career, not to steal, okay? And also be a good team player. You don't have to always want to work alone, because if you're going to become a finance manager, you don't work alone, you work with a team. For example, myself right now, I have a team that I work with. So you have to be a good team player. Being a good team player means that you are supportive to other people. You supplement their work. You're always there for them. You're always to train. You're seen to train. You just not the only person who knows that excel in the organization. Tell your manager that I can be able to train the rest of the staff in this key skill. It will demonstrate to them as your person of value and a person who values to see that your team grows. Then ambition. Now, ambition is very key as an individual, and no one would want to work with somebody who doesn't have an ambition. And that's why you see most interviews will ask you, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Why do you want to be in the next 10 years? And I think you've seen this as part of the one of the things that I've asked before we started this webinar. So ambition is very key. Have an ambition as you, an individual, of where you want to become. I want to tell you that, for example, in one organization I worked with, there is this lady who worked as an accounts assistant for a very long period of time. And I would think that she's actually still in that role. Every time I want somebody to recommend me, I always go back to that lady, because for her, she's comfortable in being an account assistant. Now, don't be that lady. Be somebody who aspires to grow in your career. Be somebody who always looking out. I always give myself about, let's say, 2 years within a role. If I've spent 2 years within a role and I've not grown, I think there's a problem. And I want to tell you that within your ambition, if you're in an organization where you're seeing that you're not growing, find where to go to. One of the things that I usually do, every time I'm joining an organization, the first thing I look at are the growth opportunities. Don't look at money. One time, I think that was a bit last year, I let go of a job of over that was paying me about 8.5 million, that is Uganda shillings, because the job was not going to give me a room to grow. Yes, it was giving me good money, but it was not giving me a room to grow. And by taking up the role, I was going to kill my career. So you also have to make such hard decisions along the way. I want to tell you that, if you do the right things, because an accountant right now, somebody who is CPA, they have 2 years of experience. They have 3 years of experience. They have 5 years of experience. They have 10 years of experience. They have 20 years of experience. They have 30 years of experience. They have 40 years of experience. They have 50 years of experience. They have 60 years of experience. They have 70 years of experience. They have 80 years of experience. They have 90 years of experience. They have 100 years of experience. They have 200 years of experience. They have 300 years of experience. They have 400 years of experience. They have 500 years of experience. They have 600 years of experience. They have 700 years of experience. They have 800 years of experience. They have 900 years of experience. They have 1000 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 years of experience. They have who is working with a reputable organization, the minimum salary they can earn is less than 5 million. Okay. And I want to tell you that this keeps on growing. If I've told that I let go of a job of 8 million last year, I think that was last year, but one, that should be able to tell you of my value as an accountant. Right now, if somebody doesn't have, let's say, above 10 million, they cannot employ me, because that is how my value, that's where my value has reached. And all that has actually come because of all that I have prepared myself, all the key skills that I have developed, the integrity that I have developed, the career growth that I have been able to attain has been able to position for me in, again, more opportunities ahead. Okay, so that is very important in your career as well. Then the other is leadership. Now, by leadership means you taking on leading others. You should be able to demonstrate that within you. You know, you can be able to tell someone who is a leader within a team. You can tell somebody who is actually just waiting for others to take lead, and you can find another person who has that initiative to take leadership. If today they say we are going to, let's say, maybe have this kind of project, and they want who can lead this project, you'll be able to see certain people who will be able to raise up their hands, and there's some people who will shy away from that. So it's very important that you take leadership of who you want to become. And then the other is have career mentors. Now, I would deceive you if I made it to who I am today just by myself. I want to tell you that I'm a person who has appreciated mentors, and mentors have been very key throughout my career. I have people that I ask about my career moves. Even when I've just gotten a job, I have first asked my mentor to find out if the job is best fit for me. I always also ask my mentor on how I can grow in my career if I've joined an industry. What key skills do I need? Mentors will be able to help me. So every one of us needs career mentors. Find somebody who is ahead of you in your career, somebody you look up to. Now, I want to tell you one of the things that sometimes even the mentors, you may not have that personal relationship with them, but mentors could also be people that you look up to. For example, people that you follow, let's say on LinkedIn, people that are thriving their careers. Either they either have blogs or certain posts that they make that you keep following. That's why I'm now also taking on this role of mentorship. I have different people I mentor. I'm running different programs that can basically help you also become who you want to become in your career. So mentorship is very key. Find mentors. This is very key. Even in the organization you're working in, find people that are like your mentors. If you've joined an organization, find someone who keep guiding you. Even when you have a challenge, someone whom you can easily go to their desk and say, I'm challenged with this. What can I do? These mentors are very critical. They are people who have some knowledge, who have gone through your journey, who can help you on certain aspects, okay? So have mentors in life, they are very important. So I want to also give you this accounting job strategy. Now, having good skills, being a good leader, being a good, whatever good in which way you want to be is not enough. I want to tell you myself is that one of the things that I said, if you're working in an organization and you're not growing, find another job. And there are also jobs that you'll find that will streamline your career. I want to tell you that when I made the choice to say I'm going to work with only multinationals, meaning if it's an organization that is locally here, it takes me a lot of time to make a decision. It should be too good for me. And I want to tell you that for the last over now 4 organizations I've worked with, these are multinationals. I made that decision. Now, getting into these jobs is not just a walk in the park. Why? Because there are many people who also want to get into these jobs. That is why today we shall put up an accounting job and we'll get over 500 people that apply for the job. Now, what makes you stand out? Your cover letter, your CV, and how you conduct yourself on interviews. Very important. These are very important because you can be very good at your work, but if you cannot express yourself, then it gets to a problem. Remember, there are internal opportunities, there are also external opportunities. There are different jobs that are coming up every day. But what does it take to actually get to there? Because I know most of you have applied for jobs and have not gotten any, even this year. No one has called you for an interview. Now, I just want to give you a little few strategies. So cover letter. When you're trying to craft your cover letter as an accountant, you have to understand the job. Go look at the job description of the job, including the skills that are required for the job. Excuse me. And then look at your experience. Look at your achievements. Look at your education background and so on, and see how those relate with the job. And then craft your cover letter. Now, there are different formats of cover letters. I know you may already have a format yourself as an individual. But if I'm shortlisting, because the cover letter is the first thing that I'll look at when I'm shortlisting. If I'm shortlisting, I'll just go out. It will take me about 3 seconds to look through your cover letter. And the things I'm looking out for basically somebody who has demonstrated I have the key skills I'm looking for, somebody who has the experience that I'm looking for, somebody who has the soft skills as well that I'm looking for, somebody who is outstanding. So the cover letter is your way to sell yourself. Make sure that your cover letter speaks to the job that has been advertised. Don't just have that single cover letter that you just keep on pasting, copying and pasting, or you just keep changing the job you're applying for and you just send. Have a cover letter for each job. And why you have to have a cover letter for each job is because every job has unique key skills, has unique key job requirements in terms of education. It has different requirements because there are different industries. So you have to make sure that the cover letter you're sending best represents you as somebody who is most suitable for that job. One of the things that you have to understand that whoever is reviewing this cover letter, there are over 500 cover letters that they are looking at. And if there's nothing that convinces them, they'll first put you aside and they'll move to the next one. Very important. Similar to the cover letter, these days we have what we call online applications, where we shall advertise and ask you to send your CV on email. Now, people forget that the email that you use to send for a job advert, when you send your CV and cover letter, the email is very important. Remember, my emails are over, let's say, 1,000. I've received over 1,000 applications. How do you make sure that you're strategic in a way that the person who is opening these emails and reading these CVs is a bit convinced even before they open your cover letter or CV? Remember, the CV and cover letter are attached. So what do you exactly include within your email? Some of you just actually put, let's say, maybe application and say, dear so madam, please find attached, and you just attach, and that is what you've sent. Some of you even don't put a salutation. You just say, please find attached, and you put. Now that is being lazy, and it will demonstrate to you as a person who is lazy. You have to make sure that you a bit professional, even as you write that email, application email. Copy part of the text that within your cover letter that you think positions really well for the job and put them in that email to make sure that the person who opens this email, even before they open your CV and open your cover letter, they are convinced. Make sure you're professional. Make sure you use the right subject. In some jobs, they will dictate which subject you should use. Make sure you salute in terms of dear sir or madam, in case you know the person you're writing to, then address them by their name. Make sure that within your body of your email, it's explanatory why you're applying for the job and why you think you're the best candidate. No one will actually ask you to write your email like that, but that is a trick that will help you to see that your CV and cover letter are open. By the way, I want to tell you that some CVs and cover letters are not even open. That is how weird it is. So all we are doing is how can we get sieved out over the 500 people? So you have to be exceptional. That's what you do with your cover letter. Like I said also, make sure it reflects you as the best candidate for the job. Let it have skills in it. Let it have some experience that relates to the job. Let it have some key attributes. In case you have any achievements that you think could are related to the job, include them there. That someone knows, oh, this guy is good. From your cover letter, they'll now move to your CV. Now, CV still, many of you have CVs you just copy and paste, or just keep sending. You don't even change anything, just keep sending. You've also forgotten, I talked of online systems where we shall, if at all we have advertised for a role, we have the key skills we are looking for. We also have the, let's say, the qualifications and so on. So we just put this in the system, and the system will filter out all the CVs that have what we are looking out for. And at the end of the day, over 500 people, the system will give us only, we shall ask the system to give us the best 10. And I want to tell you that if your CV is not rightly crafted, it will not go through that sieve. It will not. If you don't prepare your CV, every time I see a job and I'm interested in it, I'll get my CV, I'll look at the job and make sure that I tailor my CV to the job. And how I do it is to look at the job roles. I make sure at least the job roles that are within my experience need to speak to what I have, what the employer has included. I make sure I also front my achievements, because anyone can have, for example, if we are accountants, both of us in the same organization, we shall also all have the same maybe work experience. We have the same roles and responsibilities. But what distinguishes and what makes the decision for me to hire one accountant and leave out the other are the achievements. These are your roles. So what have you achieved out of those roles? So make sure you don't forget about achievements within your CV and so on. So there are many things that you need to do when it comes to your CV, things to do with your technical skills, even how your CV looks like itself is very important. There are different templates that you can always apply to be able to do a very crafted CV. And I want to tell you that that CV will earn you that job, okay? Very important. Like I said, you can be the best person out there, but if you cannot put that, then that is a problem. So let's assume you've been shortlisted for the interview. What are some of the things you need to understand when it comes to an accounting job? In the same way, when it comes to the interview, the person is trying to test in terms of your capabilities, in terms of your soft skills, in terms of your technical skills, and so on. Every time you're preparing for an interview of the kind, always make sure you are doing something that is looking at the job you're going for vis-a-vis your experience and skills and so on, and have the confidence to be able to present that even before the panel. Now, there are different ways you can describe. Myself, one of the things that has helped me is every time I'm shortlisted, and I don't know why this has happened, but every time I'm shortlisted for the job, that job will not go out of my hand. I always get the job. And why that has helped me is because I've understood how to handle interviews. I know what these guys are looking out for. I know the kind of message I need to tell them. When they ask you questions like, tell us about yourself, you should already prepare for the response to this question, even before you enter into the panel. You shouldn't just get to the panel and you're trying to figure out and say, my name is so-and-so, I come from this place, and you even don't know what to say next. You have to do a good preparation for every interview. There are key questions that will always not miss out from the interview. So you have to understand what are some of these key questions, okay? So it's very important. And some of these things, no one will tell them to you, but they are very important, and I want to tell you that they will help you actually get there, okay? So I would love to take a few questions here. And so there are some questions that have been posted. I want to take each of them, and then we'll be able to close this. Okay, so if you have a question that you can include it in the chat box, or any kind of, let's say, any comment about what we have shared today, so that we can be able to answer you accordingly. But before Before we can look at the questions interest you, have current mentorship that I want to speak about just after here. I help accountants to be able to become successful in their careers. I'm able to share with you my experience, and I'm able to share things to do around CVs, things around cover, and so on. So I would love, please let the questions come, then I can share with you the program that I have that you can be able to join, just in case you want. Some of you have posted you would love to be mentored. So I have a mentorship program that is running that you can be able to tap in, and we can be able to learn together. But I would love to take questions, so keep them coming, and then we can be able to see how to proceed, okay? One of the things that I want to tell you that some of these things look hard, and even as I explain them, you may say Samuel is lucky. I want to tell you that it's not about being lucky, but it's about understanding what I should basically be doing, okay? And for me, that is what has helped me. Like I told you, I had an ambition. I said I would become, let's say, a finance manager by this age, and I worked towards it. And that is the same thing that I want to help you, even as we get into the program, okay? So it's very important that you have, mindset. I know some of you have been speaking about promotion here, talk to your boss, and you already have it in your mind and saying, really, my boss cannot be able to listen to me. But it's very important that you try. There's nothing by trying. Some of you no longer believe in what we call applying for jobs. There's a friend of mine who was telling that me, as long as I don't know the person who is recruiting, will not apply. One of the things that I'll tell you here, and I've said this before my Almighty, that all the jobs that I've gotten in my career are jobs where I didn't know anyone. Basically, are jobs that I've gotten on merit. Okay, so you too can be able to find a job on merit. You don't need to know the HR person. You don't need to, let's say, know maybe the finance manager there to be recruited as an accountant. Many organizations are looking for talent. They are looking for guys that are good. So if you don't apply, other people will get the jobs, okay? Other people will get the jobs. No organization you cannot enter to if you're well positioned, and if you're very serious, and if you understand the CV, how it should look like, if you understand how a cover letter should look like, I want to tell you that you will not miss out on some of these opportunities. For me, it has worked for me, and there's nothing special, so much special that I might have. All I know is how to apply for these jobs. All I have done is also to go and develop my skills. And for me, that has opened a way for me, which I believe that it can also open the same way for you as well, okay? So there's nothing that is impossible. Everything is possible for us. So this is a program that is currently running. I call it the Career Mentorship Masterclass. It's more tailored to accountants because, you know, I'm an accountant, so I'm now running a program that's more tailored to accountants. And in that program, you'll be able to learn how to create a winning CV that will get you shortlisted and hired. You'll be able to learn more about how to pass interviews and be hired for senior positions. You'll be able to learn how to create a professional LinkedIn profile that attracts recruiters. I know some of you, when I shared with you about my LinkedIn profile, you said you have never got an opportunity through online. It's maybe because your LinkedIn profile is not well optimized. Now, the reason why I get people like HR recruiters to let's say check out my profile and ask me to submit my CV or be invited for interviews is not because maybe I know somebody who I just share a link to. These guys use what we call automated systems. Now, LinkedIn provides a platform for recruiters. So recruiters can be able to run the system and let's say run accountants in Uganda with key skills, and that will be able to show up. Now, if you don't know how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, you end up in circumstances where you're there online, but you don't attract any opportunity. Okay, so make sure that you position yourself, and on LinkedIn, on different platforms, even when you're doing the, let's say, the normal applications, make sure that you in a way that you can always do what, apply for these roles, and at least come out to be shortlisted, to be given the opportunity. So those are some of the things that I'll be sharing within the mentorship session to be able to help you and others. I have different people I've helped. I know some of them are part of this program. So I would love to add more people. And this is my last program for there, by the way. Coming to next year, that amount will actually go up, because currently it's now for only 50,000 shillings. You'll be able to access all those online trainings. They are readily, immediately you make your payment, you can get those recordings already, because we've already had them, and then we can be able to work together through the mentorship until the close of this year. So for the next 1 month, we'll be in touch. You can be able to ask me any question, and I can be able to help you accordingly. Okay, so I would love to help you be able to get there. And then other than that session, I also have I have a very small book. Okay, it's a book that is now in soft copy. It's a book titled "Get Your Dream Job and Earn Your Worth: 12 Steps to Getting Your New Job or Pay Rise in the Next 30 Days." So this book goes for 20,000, but I'm selling this book right now for the people that are part of this session. I'm going to make this book to you at only 10,000 shillings. So you may say I may not have enough money to join the mentorship session for now, but you can buy this book. It has a lot of knowledge that have included within this book that you can be able to buy and read. It's basically an online, it's basically an ebook, so you can be able to read it from anywhere, part of the world. For my friends that are joining this program from Kenya, in case you're interested, you can be able to reach out, and then we can find a way for you to be able to make this payment. Or from Nigeria, I know I have some friends who are joining from Nigeria and so on. So we can be able to see how to access that. Okay, so it's very important that we tap onto knowledge. You know, this is may seem to be a very small amount, but I want to tell you that right now, if I say that if someone doesn't have, let's say, 10 million, cannot employ me, there's a lot of knowledge that I've gotten through my career. And basically, this is just to facilitate me to serve you. It's not so much, this is not so much of value to me. My whole value is to make sure that you too can make it in your career as well. Okay, this is just attaching a value to it. You know, in most cases, when we make these things free, some people don't really take them for less seriously. So that is why we just put a small fee to facilitate that. Okay, so make sure that you reach out to me. Now, this is my WhatsApp number. Somebody is asking, how can we reach out to you? This is my WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number, which you can also use to pay. My WhatsApp number is 070-380-3255. It is 070-380-3255. So I've shared it within the chat box here, which is basically there. And then I also have my email there, which you can be able to reach, as well as also my website. Okay. Now, one of the things that you also need to understand that I didn't comment about, I know as accountants, you don't only do what, you don't only strive to only find jobs, but you also try to, let's say, create certain kind of personal brand that can help you to be able to even get clients. Because, for example, right now I'm serving different small clients that pay me some amount of money as a part-time accountant. Okay, so you should also be able to strive to reach that extent where you have a strong brand. And those are some of the things that I would love to also share with you along the way, of how you can also, if you've not gotten a job, for example, there are some friends of mine that are, let's say, in employment, but they have not yet found accounting jobs. So I would want to strategize with you to see how you can actually do what, to see how you can maybe find some jobs that you can serve in terms of part-time, in terms of as like a consultant sort of, okay? So that's something that I also try to mentor you in, how you can position yourself. Now, to all those that would love to see the replay of this session, or to be able to watch more other sessions that I have done past around this topic, I've shared my YouTube link in the within the chat box, so you can be able to find that. So just try to check something in the chat box. I've tried to include that as well. You can be able to go visit that YouTube channel and subscribe. This is basically the YouTube channel. Let me just try to show you just a snapshot. This is the YouTube channel. There's another webinar I did around career growth that you find here. This was I think I did it around, this was around some time. So make sure you check out these videos. They are also very helpful. There's a lot of information that I've really done that you can be able to access as well as you grow in your career. Basically, I'm just here to serve you, and I'm here to help you as well. I share a lot of my personal experience. So just visit my YouTube channel and make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you can also, to those that would love to join some of our programs, like the ones I listed, like Advanced Excel, like let's say QuickBooks and so on, or you want to join CPA, you can always reach out to me, okay? So I would love just to take a few questions here. So the few questions, let me just try to see what is exactly there. So somebody says, so please elaborate more. Why is it that finance managers pay well than accountants, yet accountants seems to be huge? Accountants and finance managers in Uganda, finance managers are paid more than accountants. And why it is like so is because a finance manager is your manager. Accountants, you're more of it's more of a starting role. But a finance manager is also an accountant, by the way. For example, I'm a finance lead at my level, but that does not mean that I'm not an accountant. And if you am to introduce myself, I would say I'm an accountant, but I'm an accountant at another level. Okay, so finance managers are paid well. That was one of the questions. Somebody says, as an accounting finalist, I hope to learn more how to do my best. I hope that has been helpful. How do I become competitive? I think I've told you how you can become competitive. Make sure that you do great work, exceptional work. Make sure you develop key skills. Somebody says, I'm interested in appropriately being able to negotiate for better pay. Now, one of the things that I indicate within my book, if you go through my book, you'll be able to see I speak about how to negotiate your pay, okay? How to negotiate your pay. It is within my book. It can help you in that line to be able to understand what exactly you need to tell your boss that will convince them to pay you a very good pay, okay? So you shouldn't have to really worry very much, but also part of my program. That's one of the things that I will also share along the way. And the other question says, I'm on LinkedIn and I've never gotten a chance to get job offer in my messages. Anyway, how can I increase my chances? Okay, this is Michelle. I think it's continuous optimization of your LinkedIn platform, and also try to also start some posting, okay? Start trying to post, so that be active on LinkedIn, so that LinkedIn can also rank you as part of its active users. You can do this by commenting on other people's posts, also making posts in your own. But before that, make sure that your profile itself is optimized. Make sure you have all the key skills that are required for most jobs in your line. Make sure you have a good about section, very key, and so on. And then someone says, what skills do I need to become a chief investment officer? Okay, of course, we have different professional courses. Like I think we saw CFA and so on, so that might help you in that line, okay? Someone says, but now after CPA, what else is important in this career to study? I was saying that after CPA, what you can basically aspire now is to, let's say, go for masters. Now, some people think that they will go for masters and then do CPA. I want to tell you that that is a mistake. If you want to grow in your accounting career, start with a professional course, and then once you're done, go for, let's say, for masters and continue building your skills, continue networking, and continue getting there. Okay. Yeah. So yes, that is what was there. Thank you for sharing. I would wish to know, being an accountant in school, what do I have to ready for auditing? Auditing, you just need to do the professional course. It's a very key requirement, but also start looking out for audit jobs. There are many audit firms, so even when you're given an opportunity to volunteer, go and volunteer for such roles, okay? It's very important. How can I be able to make the move from private sector to NGO or to audit? I think look out for the key skills that are required for, let's say, NGOs. Like I spoke of grants management, as well as audit. You can also develop your auditing skills, and let those also get to your CV, because you've gained them either through training. For example, we have the grants management training that we hold at Achievers that you can be able to tap into. We usually hold that routinely, at least every quarter. There are also different other trainings that can help you in different areas, okay? Somebody asks, I want to be a chief auditor in the Auditor General's office. Yeah, I believe you know what to exactly do. Somebody says, I want to build my consultancy. Please, it's very possible. Right now, I run a consultancy firm called Bucks Africa, and I want to tell you that my experience has been able to help me thrive in that area, okay? And then where to find such skills if you're not in the field? Okay, someone says, so can I copy the skills from the advert and paste them to my CV? It's a wrong move. Never, never do that. Make sure you develop these skills. Like I said, every time you see a job advert, even if you're not suitable for the job, yours is to strive to make sure that you're learning these skills in advance, that when the next job opportunity comes, you're now well positioned, okay? So that's very important for you. Don't just copy, make sure you develop those skills, okay? Hello, coach, about LinkedIn. I've never gotten a chance. That one I've been able to answer it. I agree. Okay. Okay. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, coach, for organizing this event. I've learned a lot. Very good. I did CPA from Senior 6. Is it advisable to go for masters or a degree? Go for a masters. And I think Ugandan Matters gives you the masters. There are different universities that can give you masters. If you have a master's degree, CPA is more of a degree in its own. Okay, so go for a master's if they can give it to you. In case they cannot give you the master's, then do the degree first. Okay. Okay. To see Merano said, I sent you a message on WhatsApp a few days about mentorship and guidance. Please guide. I joined an NGO, but need to achieve and deliver to put some controls in place, but I was in private sector before and petroleum business. Okay, I'll be able to reach out to you, to Msime, and we can be able to discuss how I can help you in that line. Please, may you kindly send some samples. Now, part of the program that I'm running, I do give you templates, okay? Part of one of the additions that I offer, I give you templates for your CV and also for your cover letter. So make sure that you join the program to be able to tap into that benefit. Thank you, coach. Great session. Have a few things to think about personally. As a qualified CPA and MBA, I feel I'm yet to be where I need or think to deserve to be career-wise. Okay, Catherine already has a CPA and MBA. Yeah, Catherine, the program will really help you very much. Because just in case you join, maybe we can be able to look through your CV and see how to craft it so that you can position yourself, because having a CPA and MBA is well positioned. And somebody says, thank you so much for organizing the event. Thank you, sir. Best presentation. I really learned a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for the comments. God bless you too. Yes, I'm asking about okay. I'm asking you about, doesn't this know of value collide with ethics and integrity? I don't know what you mean exactly here, But what I would say is that as accountants, you have to make sure you continuously maintain high levels of ethics and integrity. Okay, so that is very, very true as an individual. Now they're saying that, is there any lower level of accounting professional course apart from CPA or ACCA, which can be done by S4 Lever? Yes, there's what we call ATD. I think ISPAL has that. There also are different other certificates that you can start with and be able to get there. Someone says, I'm positioning myself for the CFO position and finance lead outside Uganda. How many papers of ACCA will I do after CPA? After CPA, you only do about 4 papers, okay? That is, there's a current memorandum between CPA and ISPAL, SCC and ISPAL that is running. So you need to check out with SCC and know the papers you will do based on when you finished your CPA anyway. Somebody says, my question is, do I need to concentrate on accounting line, or I need to choose more than one and practice them all? I think for me, find what works for you. Find where your passion is. If it's tax, make sure you concentrate on tax. But also as an accountant, you should know how to have an idea about tax. You should have an idea about, let's say, maybe grants management. If you want to aspire for NGOs, you should have also some understanding. That's why you see a CPA course will be able to give you some of these key skills. But also, you want to increase your opportunities, that in case a job comes up, you actually have some key skills that you can position yourself. Now, what happens is every time you see a job advert, yours is to keep on filtering out and see, this job is not in NGO, so it doesn't require this grants management certificate, so you leave it out. This job doesn't have any tax required in it, so you may leave out those unnecessary kind of maybe certificates that might make you to look like you're more qualified for the job. Okay, that is why you see if someone has a CPA and an MBA and you apply for an entry role, in most cases your boss doesn't even have the MBA or CPA. So at the end of the day, that may make them not even recruit you, because they may think you overqualified and you come and do what? You come and take their jobs. So sometimes you have to use emotional intelligence to understand the job you're applying for and know what to include. Some of you have, let's say, sales experience, and you find that your CV has sales everywhere. You've done certain certificates in sales and you've put them, all of them in your CV. And somebody's wondering, why do they know it? Even someone look at your CV and see you as more of a salesperson. So you need to understand some of these things even before you put them there. Somebody says, thanks for the program. I may report to some other issues. Blessed night. Thank you so much, guys. I shared my number. My number is 0703803255. Please send me a WhatsApp. Even if you're not joining the programs, send me a WhatsApp. I have a running mentorship group where I'll add you so that you can be able to know about any of my programs going forward. Somebody says, I would love to do some part-time accounting too. I have sufficient time to join the team once called upon. Yeah, I think, Catherine, I have a running program which you can be able to join. Just reach out to me on that. I'm interested in the part-time accounting program. Thank you for organizing this webinar. It has really touched me. I did my diploma in 2013, got a job in 2019, but it's not allowing me to grow. I joined BBA and completed last year. Congratulations, Gilbert. Out of this meeting, I realized the need for other skills alongside my roles, like UI related skills. Very true. Make sure you look at the other skills. May God bless you as well. I always loved pursuing CPO with Achievers Association. I think it's high time I started. Yes, Achievers professional trainers. We are trainers of the CPA program. So join us today and we'll be able to help you. Some of my students who have been part of the program will tell you that if you study with us, you're studying with the right people, because we teach you from the practical background. We are accountants. We are not professors that have never done any accounting. We are accountants, and we always take it from the practical point of view. For some with CP and undergrad, which other course can someone go for? You can, depending on which career line you want to take, you can add maybe a certification, maybe certified internal audit, maybe go for CTA, okay, just in case it's in your country, if you're in Uganda, or you can go for an MBA based on also your level. Now, for you to know which program to go for, you have to make sure you understand where you are in your level of your career. If, for example, you want to become a manager and you're already an accountant, you know that to become a manager, you'll need some management skills. And an MBA will give you that platform. So you go and study it in advance. That could be one of the things. Is it advisable to go for CPA after achieving a diploma in business administration? I would advise you to, yes, you can go for CPA or go for the degree. Actually, I would advise you first go for the degree and then go for CPA. Okay, it's very good because yes, employers have not yet appreciated people who just go direct to CPA. But yes, even if you do CPA, still you can position yourself rightly and find your way into employment. This is Joseph, year one at Mac University. Most people here are far ahead, but that's not a problem. I'll be able to learn as we proceed. Joseph, glad to hear about you. You're in the right place. Don't be afraid, you learn. I'm asking, I've been in this position since mid-2018, no promotion. 2018 is about 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years from now. Is it a sign of underperformance? Yet they applaud me. It's a sign that there are no opportunities in that organization to promote you. So I would advise you that if you feel you've done all your best and there's no sign that you move, start testing your let's say, test your skills outside. Start applying for some of these roles. Maybe even when you get that offer and present it to them, they'll wake up and they will think of promoting you. I've done it before and it has worked for me. So don't be afraid. Start applying outside, get that offer, and you'll actually get there. Somebody says here, thank you, Samuel. I would love to go for administrative work. How do I position myself in order to get that work? But I'll share my CV and correct other things where necessary. Yeah, of course, administrative work. One of the things you need to also understand is what administrators do, and you also craft your CV also in that line. Okay, so it's very true. Someone says, Samuel, help me with your number. My number, maybe just to reshare it for everyone. My number is on that screen. When you look at the screen I've shared, is there, but let me just try to share it. My number is 256. I'll just include 256 for my friends that are joining in from other parts of the world. 256-70-380-3255. Basically, it is 070 if you're in Uganda, 380-3255. That is my number. Please send me a WhatsApp on that number and just say I was part of the session. Like I said, I have a WhatsApp group that I'd love to add some of you in so that we can keep in touch. Like I said, make sure you're in the right networks with the right people. Those that are part of our WhatsApp groups know that even when we get job opportunities, we share them on our WhatsApp groups because those are the people that are in our networks, okay? So make sure you do that. But also, don't forget, make sure you join our program. And not only our program, but also you can be able to buy the book. It's very cheap, just 10,000 only. That is just a meal. So a meal and you're learning a lot from me. And this is an ebook that you can get in soft copy and be able to access this everywhere. This is one of our other programs that we run. These are all, immediately you make your payment, you have access to all these videos and be able to go through, and then you can be able to have a session with me where we can go through different aspects and so on, okay? So that is what I can basically say. And then the book is right there. It's in soft copy, so you can be able to get that and be able to know what exactly it requires you to get ahead, okay? So I've been able to answer most of the questions. And one of the things that I'll ask you to do so is make sure that we keep in touch, send me a WhatsApp. And then also I'll be able to, in case you joined in this program a little late, I informed you that I'm going to be able to share the recording on the YouTube channel, okay? I think I also share I also be able to share the slides. You can inbox me, I can share with you the slides, just in case you want anything more to learn, okay? But that should be okay for you, okay? So I want to appreciate all of you for securing your time and to be here. It's very important. I don't take it for granted. I would love to connect with you and make sure you check out my different platforms. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, guys. I would love to know more about you guys. So connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm just sharing my LinkedIn, or you can search for me on LinkedIn and be able to send me a message. Okay. This session has also been recorded on my Facebook page. You'll be able to see it here. The Facebook page is Coach Samuel Ibanda. You'll be able to see this recording here. So just go to Facebook and search for Coach Samuel Ibanda. You'll be able to see that that whole video right there as a replay, and let's keep in touch and see how we can help each other. Otherwise, I love to call this webinar to an end, and I look forward to seeing you and growing with you through your career. It's very possible, guys. Some of you know my story, and one of the things that I also share within my book is I share my story. So my story will be able to tell you that I didn't start from up there. I don't have connections. I think for me, everything that has worked for me has been about working hard, has been about doing the right thing, and has been about looking out for resourceful people that can put me ahead. And that has opened for me job opportunities. It has opened for me promotions, even in organizations I've joined and no one knows me. So you too you can actually become who you want to become. You don't need to know anyone in government. You don't need to know anyone in an organ to enter there. Many organizations are recruiting. Myself, I've been on different interview panels. I've been asked by organizations to shortlist for them. And I know what organizations are looking out for, okay? So part of my mentorship will help you to develop that confidence to apply for some of these jobs that sometimes you're even afraid and say, well, how will I get a job in MTN? Who am I? I want to tell you that myself, I've been able to get jobs in the big fours just because I believe that you can be able to get there. So why not give this a try, and why not join in and we are able to learn together? Okay, somebody says, is LinkedIn an app or something else? LinkedIn is an app, but you can access LinkedIn also through web. But if you have a phone, you can go to Google Store, I think Play Store, yeah, Play Store, and be able to download the LinkedIn app. If you want to know how to set it up, at least I have a program here which will help you to be able to set up your LinkedIn profile. Like I said, the world is moving now to digital. You cannot just say, I have this CV and you just keep applying. You need to try out, okay? You need to try out certain things that can help position you out. The world is moving very fast. Connect with the right people. I've told you that I was able to get several jobs through LinkedIn, and myself, I'll never leave LinkedIn. I'll continue to be there. I'll continue to showcase my professional capabilities. And I want to tell you that you too can actually get there. The same thing with your CV. Make sure that your CV translates into LinkedIn. By the way, you can even you can create your CV immediately from LinkedIn. LinkedIn has this option where if somebody wants your CV, they'll just come here and say save to PDF. You see, this is saved to PDF. I'm just going to demonstrate for you how people get your CVs. They will not even ask for your CV. They'll just come here and it will give them more. So they will click on it and say save to PDF. So when somebody saves your CV to PDF, you're going to see how it will look like. This is how it looks like. This is how your CV will look like when somebody receives your CV from LinkedIn. As you can see, Coach Samuel Ibanda CPH shows the summary, everything. I think you saw whatever I shared with you in my profile for the start, I've been able to put it here as well. Down, it will go to even experiences. What are some of my experiences right there? I think you can see Save the Children, Partnership Finance Lead, Finance Manager, and so on. This is what exactly happens. Even when you see up here, you can see top skills, strategic planning, financial accounting, capacity building, and so on. So LinkedIn is very powerful, When somebody just checks you out, what do they exactly see, okay? Very important. There are people who, even when you look at their LinkedIns, the LinkedIns are not organized at all. This person does not even have a picture on their LinkedIn. People have selfies on their LinkedIn. You don't know that there are people who just look at your LinkedIn and they'll make a decision. For example, if I see this guy is just standing and looking down, I cannot even see his face and so on. Now you wonder why some people get people to invite them for interviews and why other people don't get, because of the professionalism that you demonstrate even when you're on such platforms. This is your new networking platform. Who are you connecting with every day? And how does, when somebody visits your LinkedIn profile, what are some of the comments that they'll be able to give on your LinkedIn profile? So I'll be able to help you along this profile, and then we can see how that turns out for you, okay? So that is what I wanted to basically comment. Thank you so much. Somebody says you're psychologically commendable. Great, guys. I would love to hear more of these words. So as we finish the session, please just share what is your takeaway for the day. That will help me even guide my next sessions. Tell me about your takeaway for the day and what you're going to do differently, just as we finish this. So thank you so much. And I wish you all the best, even as you aspire to grow. I've been yours, Samuel Ivanda. I'm your inspirational coach, always here to see how I can support you. Just in case you want to reach out to me, I'll just try to display my numbers there so that you can be able to save it. The first number is my WhatsApp, so make sure you save it. And then you can be able to send me a WhatsApp. Let's connect. And I share a lot of things, so let's make sure you connect with me. And also, just in case you want to share with me an email, it's also right there. You can also check out my website, which is www.samuelivanda.com, and then we can be able to connect and see how to grow each other. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure to be part of this webinar. I had to share this, and as we close the year, let you finish on a strong, but also start 2022 in a much better way. One of the things that I want to tell you that it doesn't matter about your background, doesn't matter who you are, baby, whatever family you come from. It's about the value you create outside there that will actually get you there. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. May you grow in your careers. May you become the CFOs that you indicated. May you become the consultants. May you become everything, because everything is possible. So I wish to end this, and I want to say God bless you. Please indicate what is your takeaway from the chat box as you drop off. And if you're watching this from social media, also please leave a comment on what is your takeaway from the session, and let's see how we can basically proceed.